Is this wheel a game changer? We're going to find out in this video. This is the iRacing Pro McLaren Artura USB wheel, and this is my first race with it. I've had to connect it to the PC. I have to say, it just feels precise, like it's not wobbling around. I'm on the Moser R16 base. Now, because this is a proper big boy or girl sim racing wheel, it doesn't work through the Moser. I've had to plug it in separately using the coiled cable like you would in real life, and then the lights are working via SimHub. So I'm delving into sort of this level of sim racing. Big thank you to iRacing for sort of sending this lone unit out so I can experience it. I have to say, this thing, has it mapped? Yes, it has. This thing is incredibly precise. It feels reassuring. Oh my goodness me. I think the Moser R16 is doing a very good job as well, but when I'd normally have the Moser KS rim on here in terms of a GT rim, this is just quite a bit more precise. It's not really flex, because there's probably actually a bit more sort of general flex in the chain here because I've gone for extension to extend it into the Moser R16. So it's not that. I think it's the ergonomics, the way that everything feels absolutely precise. And we're going to put it to the test because we're going to see if I can make some tasty overtakes on some of these AI cars as AI race it. And yeah, it feels super precise. It reminds me of driving a GT3 car in real life. It's not, you know, you're not sweating trying to do it. It's more of a precision challenge. And I feel like this wheel demands precision from every aspect of driving. I've preemptively mapped the brake bias, which is working, and I've also mapped the T-seat as well, and I don't think I mapped the ABS, but I could map the ABS on a rotary. I'm on Fanatec V3 pedals as well. This is not going to be a rushed video, this one, by the way. I've unboxed this thing in the studio and we're just going to give you my first impressions, so hopefully it's helpful. Everything is on the funky switch as well, so absolutely everything I need is there, but I've got the big brake bias buttons and I want to use them because, again, like I've been saying, I feel this wheel rewards you for being precise. That's my impression so far. I'm going to go over that curb. I mean, making that move around the outside there is not a particularly easy one. Maybe up the inside of the Porsche into second Lesmo, yeah. I feel very comfortable right now. I mean, I've been doing iRacing quite a long time. I've been doing iRacing on non-load cell pedals, non-direct drive wheels, and so I've really sort of, that's where I've come from. And it's a bit weird to think that I've been driving against people using, as we go a bit deep there, but gather it up, people using this level of equipment. You can just see, maybe I feel so calm. It's like I am when I'm karting. When I'm karting, if you watch my karting videos, you see I'm very laid back, very relaxed in the kart. I'm not over sort of gripping things. Or we get a little bit deep again, gather it up. And you can see here again, like I can drive with one hand. Very different experience to when I'm driving with the Moser FSR rim, which I feel like I do hold quite tightly. But this one here, I mean, I don't know what's going on, why I just feel so comfortable. Let's see if we can catch up. I just feel like I could lap around Monza for literally like all day, 24 hours, and be absolutely a-okay here. Try and go around the McLaren, let's see. I mean, I don't know what there is. I don't know why it feels like such a big step up. We know the build quality is good, but then again, I've put it on some big extensions. We know the grips are a bit higher quality than what you get with Fanatec and Moser in terms of the GT3 wheels that we've compared against. We know that the buttons feel a bit higher quality. I didn't map these encoders actually, which would be an interesting one to do. But there's something about how it's coming together. I don't know if it's also because I've mounted it with these extensions, so it's a bit more realistic. And it's a bit further away from the base. But I was worried about that as we nail that sausage curb there. It's just a very, it's a very smooth experience with this wheel. It is basically a €1,000 wheel, or I think a little bit just under. It doesn't have the screen like I would in the Moser FSR. So I'd have to find a place to put the dash separately, but now I've got SimHub running. That isn't really any sort of hardship. It is not super simple to set up. I had to download some control center and then download SimHub, which for me is like, you know, I don't really use those things normally. But then it has just worked. It's been picked up by iRacing. The Moser base seems to understand that it's being used without a Moser rim, which I was a little bit worried about. The shifters are really good. I don't know if the shifters give me sort of an increased sense of relaxation here, because as you've seen in our unboxing, they are like absolutely top quality shifters. So we dive up the inside. There's something about going over sausage curbs, like, I just feel like I could do it all day. Ferrari 296 ahead of us. And I'm not getting any real drama on exit. Let's turn down the TC even more to the lowest setting. Because if you see me do iRacing, sometimes on the GT3 I'm sort of like, I am wrestling with it a little bit. Not here. Let's try and get a good exit. Inside or outside. Again, I can just take my hands off. I know it knows what it's doing. If you're watching this and you would never ever take your hands off the wheel, then you probably experience what I've experienced before, which is sort of like this. You have to hold it tighter. Because if you don't hold it tight, it's going to start to oscillate and do crazy stuff. But as you can see, that's just not the case here. Like, the force feedback is really nice. This is my first time using a non sort of like Moser rim on the Moser base. And I was worried how it would work. But again, we're cruising down here 156. No drama. That just enables me to focus on what I need to do. Oops. He says. Oh, there we go. Oh no, all my good work undone. All my good work undone. Okay. So, I did bin it. I'm going to suspect that's mainly due to me putting the TC down at very low levels. But again, because I've got it all mapped here, I'm going to try and... Let's go down to 2. See if we can catch up. Really put our foot down now. Might have overheated tyres. So now we're driving more in anger. It's funny because the wheel in the car is basically the replica, well, it's basically the Fanatec McLaren GT3, isn't it? But here we are in the iRacing Artura McLaren Pro. Oh no, come on. Oh no. Maybe tweak the BB. See, I'm becoming a real sim racer now. I'm like, oh, that wasn't my fault. That was because my BB was wrong. And I span, not because it was my fault, but because the traction control wasn't in the right setting. It's a slippery slope. These moments here just feel super precise. Up the insides. Okay, can we catch up with those cars ahead? I'm really going to try and put this thing through paces. There's no drama here, though. There's no drama whatsoever. Gonna get on the power again. There's that. Lines in the tarmac where I spun it. I would love to do, and we will do, some time trialing in this thing. I genuinely think this wheel is going to make me do more PC sim racing, because it's just such a pleasant experience. Okay, we're starting to get in the groove a little bit. Too early apex there, we can run wide though. Not convinced about my gearing. Come on, there's a lot of cars up there. Hopefully we've got enough time to catch them. And again, go wheel to wheel in the Asher. Eating a lot of the sausages over the Richmonds. Come on. Leader did a 153.8, so we'll see what we do over the line. Getting that precision on the exit. There's no excuses here. The platform is so precise, it's all down to me really. 153.8 from the leader. We did fastest lap. Come on. Up the gears. There's a full GT ahead of us. Let's try and brake late here because I'm always coming off the brake a little bit. Still can push that a little bit further. Round the Ford GT. Come on. Now we're going to drive a little bit more aggressively. I mean, it's fair to say, and this is a loan unit provided by iRacing, but I have been provided loan units by other sim racing companies. This is by far the best wheel that I've ever used. I don't even think it's close, and I'm just struggling to work out why that is. The danger with equipment like this is it's going to be difficult to go back to something like a Fantech McLaren GT3 or indeed the Moser KS Rim, because they just feel like toys compared to this. This now feels like I'm driving a real car. There are levels to this game, I'm realising. Thought I shifted there but hadn't. I think the precision as well might give you a bit more comfort to sort of keep your foot down and deal with any sort of like, you know, liveliness through the wheel rather than having to lift off. I'm going to go for that gap, mate. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That was close. White flag. I'm going to try and do the fastest lap I've done. So 152.9 was the previous lap. I don't think this is going to be faster yet. So let's see if we can beat a 152.9. And again, just a nice chilled out video for you here using the wheel. It's brake late, 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 late. Few stabs of the throttle. So not ideal. Let's try and use the higher gears this time. Oh, I've gone off track. We'll keep going, we'll keep going. Obviously, we're not going to pull over in a race just because we got an old off track. That should be a pretty tidy exit this right now. I did try and map the... Here we go. How are we doing? Oh, it hasn't... There we go. Yes! Not quite the best, but we can still do it. That's the Gates of Session best. It's going to come down to Parabolica. If you have any questions, by the way, about this, well, let me know in the comments. But I think you're going to be seeing me using it a lot more. Punch it. Oh, it might be close. And we had the old off trap. I think we're going to just about improve. Okay, well, I can't really knock this wheel. I can't really knock it, to be honest. It's just a really good solid wheel. It doesn't look too flashy. It's not trying to be the star of the show. Don't know if I have the Moser. So this is the wheel that I'd normally be using on this Moser R16 base here, and they're very, very, very different. You can see in the B-roll anyway put up. But yeah, great first impressions from the Asher Racing. I'm going to be using it a lot more. Ask me your questions. I'll try and answer them in the comments or in a future video, and I'll see you next time.